What's up, guys? It's your boy Nathan. It was the day after the night before. Game week 8 has come to an end. And whenever a game week ends, we start with the check in show. Hey, Shanks. Hey, Dell Laptop. Hey, Adil. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Take care. Hopefully, everybody, why did I say take care? Hopefully, everyone had fun and enjoyed their Diwali. Notwithstanding our Northwest Derby win, of course. I mean, in general. But yes, yes, as the game week ends, we always do a check-in show. Didn't do it on Monday simply because there was a game yesterday. So I decided we'd do it on Tuesday. Plus, I wanted everyone to enjoy Diwali. So why do a Monday show, right? There's no need. We can always do it another time. That being said, guys, today evening we are doing Arsenal Atletico Madrid as well. If you are busy right now, cannot attend this live stream, do remember we are going to be live in the night as well. Stellar news, we will get to it for sure. Adil, Mustache, what's up? Good evening. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Stellar news, Maguire new contract. We'll wait for people to roll in or we'll just start. I think we'll just wait a few more minutes and then we'll get right into it because we do have some United news that we can deal with at the end. We'll be on for roughly an hour, guys. It won't be later than that. Anything that you miss out now, we can of course talk about later on in a couple of hours when we do the Atletico Arsenal match. So nothing will be missed. Everything will be spoken about either now or later when we are chilling and watching. Hopefully, Simeone lose. Hopefully, Goldbridge was barking about Joe Bellingham. I don't know if he was barking, dude. I saw snips. As you know, I try not to consume too much content, so it changes my opinion. I understand some things he's saying. That being said, I don't know what the state of our team will be come January, so I don't really want to say anything now. But yeah, the links have already started. I'm still buzzing about beating the Scousers, and you should, and you should. Hey, Roshan, Liverpool will again lose again tomorrow. Listen, man, I'm not going to lie. I was on Lala's channel, kicking it with Lala yesterday, and I told him I think the easiest game you have is this weekend, man. Otherwise, the next 6 games are really tough for Liverpool, and I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be sensationalist. I honestly think the next 6 games are tough. I think Frankfurt game's a tough game. I think Brentford's the winnable game, honestly, in the next 6, the most winnable at least. Liverpool will lose. I read that. Why do you hate Simeone? He plays good defensive football. I'll explain. I just don't want Joe Bellingham. And that's fair enough, Prayag, and you don't need to, and you don't have to want him. Like I said, I understand what Colbridge is saying. I don't necessarily agree with it exactly because I think this is one of those things where we'll have to wait till January before we decide. We'll be first in January. I mean, if we are first in January, definitely don't need Joe Bellingham. You hate Simeone. It's a little more complicated than that, but if you want to make it simpler, put it as simple as that, then yes, I would have to say kind of yes. Peak haram ball football tonight. Osama ball versus Saddam ball. We are going for the title. Johnny Walker Black Label. Watching your and Mark stream while playing PES 25 is a 17 is a big W. Yeah, it was just impromptu here. Half an hour before he said we'll churn out a stream for an hour. Yeah, I was live on at Mohawk about 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago for like an hour. Yeah, it happened impromptu, and then I set up my own stream. Of course, it was always the plan, but yes. But the things around him are not positive the way his father's doing. Yeah, Prayag, like I said, that's why I'm saying I kind of agree with Goldbridge. The reason I don't want to have a stance is very simple. I don't know what we're going to look like in January. If our players aren't fit and he's the only good quality player we can get, there's a lot of circumstances. But as it stands right now, Prayag, I agree. I don't want Joe Bellingham either, to be honest with you. But our attitudes might have to change depending on what happens till January. That's why I'm not willing to say anything. Coolbridge is doing like 3 shows, 4 shows a day. He has to churn out content as the news comes. For me, I don't do news related content, so I prefer to wait till January and see what we need because it's just October. We have to do another 2.5 months of football. There's no point talking about it now. But yeah, I agree with you though. Even I also don't want Jude Bellingham, to be honest. No, but the thing I read that my priority list is in mid season is Wharton, Edison, then Baliba. Paul plays. I'm telling you right now, neither of them are going to come in January. That is why we are talking about Stiller, Bellingham, Jimmy Garner. I wouldn't mind Jimmy Garner. Let him come back home. Actually, prefer Shivas, but the Johnny Walker's a cool name. Fair enough. विक्रांत इज सेइंग ब्रो अगर नेक्स्ट मैच में शेशको कूनिया एम्बुएमो खेलेंगे तो मिडफील्ड में कौन आएगा कूनिया This is a great question, Vikrant, because I think Mount also played a good game. I think Mount and Cunha are going to be sharing responsibilities. To be honest, Vikrant, I don't think we should. I don't think we should bench Cunha, but I have a feeling they're going to be sharing responsibilities. Very excited when Maza and Licha will get back. Yeah, I'm also excited Paul plays, but the problem is, I was thinking about it. I think what we should do is I think we should talk about United first because we'll get some of the news out of the way. Everybody is here now, Besides, we always do this. We talk about United for most of the stream anyway, unintentionally. But I think what we'll do is we'll talk about it now so we can get through it quickly because I'm only going to be live for an hour. I'm going to obviously be back later on so we can chat obviously more there. If any more news comes, we can always talk about it there. But for now, let's talk about this. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't really need to talk about the game. I'm just putting this up here, obviously. But wait, where's it? Do this. Yeah, this is a little bit better. Yeah. So, since we are talking about United, hold on a minute. Talking about Black Label, Nathan, which brand do you like? I'm not really a whiskey person, dude, but I mean, without trying to sound like some fancy pants, uh, I think I like Jack Daniels simply because it's smooth, dude. I'm not such a big alcohol drinker, so for me, like the smooth liquors are, I don't know, I enjoy it more, if that makes sense. I know it's a pretty expensive, but I rather just drink. I mean, vodka is not smooth, but I prefer vodka if I had an option. If I was paying for it, I'd go vodka because, as you know, Jack Daniels isn't cheap, especially if you're going to be outside and drink it. So I read that. Okay, Bellingham needs to lose his Christ the Redeemer mentality. He can't, dude. That's not their thing. Part of the hype is that in midfield, not the season. Oh, in midfield. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant. So we were talking about. Okay, I guess fair enough, Paul. We were talking about people we might be going for in January. So little mix up there, but fair enough. Decades that I CM Punk was Jesus for the title. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Didn't watch Raw today, but no problem. It's hard to bench Cunha. He was a dynamo against Liverpool. Exactly, and this is the problem. So let's just go through the Liverpool Manchester United game, shall we? Wow, I didn't know this. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently they didn't fill the stadium. Wow. 663. Wow. About 1900 seats were empty. That's interesting. Listen, don't get me wrong, 98% is still a lot, but damn, I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? We didn't sell out the Northwest Derby at Anfield. Wow. I'm a little surprised. I know that's not really relevant, but I'm still surprised a little bit. Um, what can we say about this game? Is the hype about Joe Bellingham because of Jude Bellingham? No, listen, man, he did really well at Sunderland. I don't want to be that guy. It's just that Dortmund has a way of doing things, and the Bellinghams aren't enjoying it right now, and Dortmund doesn't care. They'll sell. They don't mind. They get the price, they'll sell. They're not going to be threatened like that. So that's the thing. Only United people. Sam is great in terms of United content creator. See, I don't know about great or bad secret gamers. I think they're all different. They all bring different things to the table. Some people like their personality. Some people like how they react. Some people like how they make jokes, like expressions. Some people like the passion. I think it's different things for different people, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfect, you know. Play Mountain Casemiro midfield, give rest to Bruno. Hey, hey, hey. I'm gonna be streaming my first stream and streaming with zero viewers. Crazy. Any trip? Listen, dude. We all started at zero. Just keep the energy. Don't look at the subscriber count. Do not let it get to your head. Just enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Get used to the process. Get used to doing it. That's all. Get the first stream out of the get the first stream out of the way, then people start coming. Exactly. Devian just saying, weren't you just live at 1 a.m. UFC? I was, my friend. I was there for an hour. This so Devian, I'll give you a little context if you're new to the channel. What happens is I put out a stream schedule for my week. Like, so if anyone else wants me, I'm free for outside of those times basically, because I like to keep my schedule fixed of when I'm going live. So people know, because what happens is I found out that the notifications aren't going through even if they have hit the bell notification and everything. So what I've decided to make things simple is, if, for example, if the Premier League ends on Sunday, Monday afternoon I put out the stream schedule. So yesterday we had a game at night, so I put out the stream schedule today. So if you go at my post now, Devyansh, you will get what I am doing on the channel for the week. You know, if anything comes out of nowhere, then I will post it separately. You know, I'll share it on Twitter and all that. But what I am doing live on the channel is normally decided like a few days in advance. But yes, I was live there. Thank you for joining. Can we say what Slot did last season, the blip, or he has the key players like Trent and Diaz? Is there any chance? I mean, if eFootballer, if it continues like this, Job won't want to be there. So yes, there is. Thank you, eFootballer. Trent did make a difference. Fullbacks are not that progressive as last season. Klopp can handle the icon players like Isaac Wirtz, Ekitike, but I think Slot has lots of responsibility on his hands to manage the big names. Love how salty Arne Slot's being fills me with petty joy. The petty joy. Okay. So basically, guys, what we got out from the game, we got that these three really stepped up. Delict, Maguire, Shaw really stepped up in defense. As you can see there, good old Slabby with a 8. Sen Laman's obviously man of the match for some people. For us, it's 1 or 2 for me. Either one you want to give these two gentlemen, I'll take it as man of the match. I think these two gentlemen here, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, were very steady in the first half. They slightly declined in the second half, slightly. So they made the changes when necessary. I thought Ahmad was really good. I thought Ahmad needs to continue with this performance. He's had 2 solid games now, back to back, which is great. I felt like he made a fool of Kirkes a few times and took advantage of the fact that Kirkes is very rash in general. And I thought we did really well. What can I say about this guy? I don't think I need to anymore. I think you people know exactly how I feel about this man. I don't need to say anything about Mbamo. Mount Mount had a very subdued first half. But what I liked about Mount is, let's see if we can pull it up here. He played 61 minutes. He had 2 total shots, which is fine. 7 out of 12 passes, no chances created, XG 0 point this, that, and the other fantasy points, which is a little crazy. I didn't know they do that here. As you can see, 19 touches, passes into the final third, 3, so he didn't get dispossessed, but he definitely missed out some long balls. Put a tackle and clearance in. So what does this basically give to you guys? To me, it gives me, they say 6.5, then I agree. He had a steady game, low key, game. And I think he did really well for 61 minutes. That's it. I think he did really well. He kept it tight, he kept it quiet. And, we subbed him off when we needed to. राहुल ने ये फोटो किसकी है स्ट्रीम पे? What do you mean? Whose photo, bud? And I just wanted to say, yeah, yeah, by the way, Mustache here, Foot Mob disagrees with you. As you can see, my guy here with a 7.4. 7.4. Two Ds. Diego Dallo. Does this win for United feel different, or it's one of those performances they put on every once in a long while? It feels different because of how the mentality we approached it with House of Football. I think without getting too specific here, actually I want to see something in 16 out of 22 passes made. What is it saying? 48 touches, 7 passes into the final third, 1 out of 2 accurate crosses, 1 out of 3 long balls accurate, wasn't dispossessed, 4 tackles, 8 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 4 recoveries, 1 dribble passed, ground duels won 4 out of 7, aerial duels won 1 out of 2, fouls committed 2. I thought he had an all right game. So I don't really get it, but it's fair, Mustache. Do you do watch alongs, previews, reviews? I do that. I do watch alongs, previews, reviews. We're doing the Arsenal Atletico one now, Devyansh. We do WWE, we do UFC. As you can see on the post I was telling you about, you'll see me doing putting the watch alongs and previews. Everything is set up there on you Monday or Tuesday afternoon. You'll get a stream schedule, whatever it is. Mostly I do on average, if there is no European games in between, I do one, two, three, four, anywhere between 5 to 6 streams. About 3 watch alongs, 2 review reaction shows. When there's European games, I do about 7 watch alongs. So yeah. Still not confident about Amram. Last year we defeated City and we were going gaga over that. After that, we know what happened. Amram needs to win next 4 matches. And Shanks, I think this is why I would recommend people to watch my reaction to the game. I was very relaxed. I was very calm. I just enjoyed the moment. And you know what's the funny thing? That is what Ruben Amram said in the press conference as well. Just enjoy the moment. And I think that's what we should do. And we should go take this momentum to Brighton. He had a very good interview, and as you guys know, I hate interviews. I hate interviews, especially when we are doing them. But you know, good interviews, good answers. It was great. Ahmad also had a good game. Yep, yeah, right there. As you can see, better than Dallo. 7.9, 59 minutes played, 1 assist, obviously the opening goal. 2 chances created, as you can see there. 7 defensive contributions, one dribble, successful dribble, 36 touches, 3 passes into the final third, 1 accurate long ball, 1 tackle, 1 clearance, 1 headed clearance, 1 interception, 4 recoveries, 2 out of 6 ground duels, one obviously aerial duels is not his strength, and fouls committed 3 fouls, and he got a yellow card, which then he got substituted for. I still find this absolutely crazy here. This 90, we didn't sell out the Northwest Derby. That's kind of incredible to me actually. Hey, Tathagata, yes, hello, good evening. I read that. Actually, like Dallo as well. Listen, man, Dallo, we can't get better than him. We can get better than him, footballer. The thing is, we are not going for better than him. Nathan Achin, Dallo, love triangle. Listen, man, listen. You saw the stats. That the stats don't look bad. Dallo's form changes like the wind. This I have to agree. This is 100% true. You can't deny that. No matter how much you love Dallo, you cannot deny that. I mean, Shaw was great. Then, bro, listen. Look at this. Look at this. You don't need to tell me, dude. Hold on. See that? This is a mural they did for him when they reached the Euro finals in 2021. Anyway, absolutely. And as you can see, I don't know how Shaw gets a lower ranking. I think gets a lower ranking for he got subbed off at 85 minutes. I don't really know how that works, but yeah, I thought Shaw also did great. Yes. I think if we win 5 games in a row, we can definitely secure top 4. I think if we win 5 games in a row, I think we are going to be really close to the top, to be honest. But yeah. But City game, we just step up in 15 minutes. City was not as great as they were. That's true. Maybe it's this time in the long run, which we are craving for, is coming. Yes. Yes. Good evening, Pratyay. Good evening. Nathan, I feel Brighton will beat United. Liverpool have been shit recently, and they were unlucky as well against United, against Chelsea. Again, United were lucky. I feel there is still a lot of issues. So this is a great point. This is a great point. There is a lot of issues, but you know what I would, the little counter I would put to that is, the little counter that I would put to that is, while there has been a lot of issues, the reason I think we won the Chelsea game and the Liverpool game ultimately is because we overcame these issues as a team together. We stayed compact. We tried to stay as disciplined as possible. Listen, you guys know how much I like Brian Mbamo. We didn't talk about the goals. We didn't need to. We saw it live. But I will say this one thing right now. The reason they scored that goal is because Mbamo didn't clear the ball. He tried to keep the ball, hold the ball, and progress it himself, take it away from the goal himself. And that is why we ended up conceding the goal we conceded. Now, the reason I'm not bringing it up is, first of all, we won, so it doesn't matter. But the reason I'm bringing it up is after we conceded that goal, and I'm sure you guys all noticed it while you were watching it with me. Every moment in time, the ball was anywhere near the penalty box. After a free kick, after a short attempt, after a corner, we just hoofed it. Now, 9 times out of 10, if Manchester United players do this, the fans will hate it. But because of the circumstance, because of the reason we conceded the goal, every time they kept clearing the ball out, it frustrated Liverpool. It made Liverpool have to go all the way back to retrieve the ball every time it would get hoofed. It would stop the play, they would kick it out of bounds. So, you know, this is an example of even if we don't look great, we are doing enough to get over the line through discipline, if that makes sense. But yeah. I agree with what you're saying, Johnny Walker. That's a great point. But if we play as a team, I think we will beat most teams as long as we have each other's backs. So it's minor mistake also. Yeah, listen, man. I think a lot of people don't want Diego Dallo to start, which is absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. We all want better players in all positions. I understand it. We're all United fans at the end of the day. We all always want better players to play for our team. I get it. There's no problem. Nathan, can we discuss how good Delict has been this season? He's been all right, dude. He's been average. No, I'm just joking. Before anyone clips that up. Um, he has been immense. He has been immense. He has been immense. It's an absolute bargain. I couldn't agree with you more, Nikhil. He's 1-2 games he has been off, but overall, even yesterday against Liverpool, he came out of position into their half, chased the ball down, forced them to, post it for a throw in. He did something very similar against Chelsea, even when we were down to 10 men, where he was being that extra defender, that extra aggressor when they had the ball with one man down, forcing them to kick the ball out of bounds, winning throw ins. So he has been absolutely immense. The only thing I don't like about the Delict issue, Nikhil, is that I think he should play center back. You know, but if Maguire masters the position, then it won't make a difference because I feel like the reason Delict goes to the right hand side instead of the center is because he is more capable of being a right sided center back. Rose big now. Of course, he's going to ignore me. What do you mean, dude? You're talking with mustache. I'm highlighting it. How? What else am I supposed to do? I can't highlight you asking questions to mustache, dude. But yeah, we just have to remember we keep winning. That we are a good team. Yeah, if we work together, bro. I am telling you, we can win. We can win a lot of these games for sure. Can't expect from United. We are inconsistent more than my channel. But Lavanya, see, there's nothing wrong with inconsistency because at this point of time, we are in a really tough place. So we will be inconsistent naturally. That being said, there has to be a turning point at some point of time, and there is no good reason, there is no bad reason as to why this is not the turning point. We have to just keep our heads on our shoulders, just see how the game goes. I put my money on Spurs, Newcastle, and Liverpool win or draw, and guess what? All of them lost. Unlucky, Devyansh. Unlucky. What I like about Amarim is a low block. If the attacking system play haram balls, score one goal, channel your Italian inside you and defend a hit and counter. Yeah, listen, man, we have been gaining some success doing that at the moment. The problem with that, Shanks, is people will say, why didn't we just stick with Ten Hag? Why didn't we just stick with Ole? We were doing that with them, and we never finished 15. So that is the problem. It's not sustainable for Amarim because people will ask, why did we get him? So Amram show why he's a great tactician. He started with Mount instead of Sheshko because of his surprising strategy of winning second balls from long balls, which Slot also didn't expect. The funny thing is, I feel like we could have won more long balls with Sheshko Snail because at some points of time, the ball was going long and Mbeumo had to defend himself against Van Dijk, who's much taller than him. But yeah, we didn't expect it either. It was a great tactic for sure. No doubt about it. After win at Anfield, I'm really going to enjoy the check-in show. Earlier for me, it was like crying my heart out. I really have some hope now that we are starting to understand we're a good team. Yeah, I think working together, it's coming together slowly. Hopefully, Liverpool lose to Frankfurt and Brentford. Will there be calls for slot sacking? Dell, I don't think there'll be. And the reason there won't be calls for slot sacking is right now Liverpool are the media darlings. They are currently making Liverpool this. At least it feels that way because I feel like nobody's talking about how much pressure Slot is under unless you are in this community. So yeah, I feel people in our community are talking about how much pressure he's in. No one's saying he's going to get sacked, but talk about how much pressure he's in. Yeah, we have English Maldini and Dutch Beckenbauer at United. Hey, Destroyer, good evening. Why Serie A is so much boring that it made you think your life choice? I mean, I just wanted Roma to win over Inter for Dybala. You like or follow any other club instead of United? The thing is, I only watch Premier League football, uh, e-footballer. So the answer is no. I don't mind watching. We are going to do Champions League games. Obviously, we are not in it. Um, I don't follow any club. No, I'll watch the games though. I'll watch the games. Yes. Do I like any clubs? I like Real Madrid. I like Real Madrid. I like Brentford a lot. At least under Thomas Frank. I really like Bournemouth now. I always recommend people to watch Bournemouth games. They are doing really well. Yeah. They've been doing really well from last season also. Yeah. Yeah, I think the pressure will begin to mount in that eventuality. Slot could be axed for sure. Yeah, to answer that other part of the question, Dell laptop, which you say if we lose to Frankfurt or Brentford, I think the pressure will mount for sure. Will. Because the next four games after Brentford are really tough. Not saying they're going to lose all four, but they are really tough. I feel these are out of the six games, I think these two are the most winnable. So yeah, it'll be really tough if they don't get through Sunday without a win. Can you see Ugarte cast midfield against Brighton? No chance. Foot worse. I think that's the one combination he has no interest in doing. Greenwood did score for, and didn't Angel Gomez assist even? Yeah, Marseille had a great time, didn't they? They've been having a great time. Mason Greenwood scored in Champions League even, didn't he? Where is it? 6-2 against Le Havre. Yep, four goals. I think he did he get an assist even? No, 4 goals. Yeah, 4 goals. Yeah, they played well. United for title race. Nice try, Pudan. Nice try. 100% agreed. He is our best centre back. Yeah, he is our best centre back. He's the best centre back. Amaram is preparing unique plans against each team differently, which I'm liking. He's adapting game to game. Yeah, it does. It's starting to seem a little bit like that. That's for sure. When we go into big games, I feel confident that Amaram does his homework. But against small teams is my real fear. Amaram takes small teams very lightly. I think he'll still be given chance because of his last year achievement. He'll be given a chance. He'll be given chance, but the question is how long? How long? Actually, our best back three is Delict dealing centrally with aerial threats, Euro and Mazraoui dealing with tricky wingers running down the flank. When I saw Saf giving chocolates before the game, I knew it's over for Liverpool. I want to see British fans chance or Baleba at home when he will play. That's going to be interesting. We have to definitely look into that for sure. For sure. I think it's more likely they start to play better than anything. Yeah, more likely, yes. Happy Diwali, Anshuman. Happy Diwali. Spurs lost and Waters blew. Okay. Nate, you should have went for Al Nasser. We go up. But then I knew he wasn't going to come here. It didn't make sense. It's on the other side of the state even. It has to make sense, bro. I still think that's best way unless we have fast centre backs play highline, low block, park the bus, score one goal ugly as you can 3 points import. Completely agree. Yesterday win is different from Chelsea with a fresh breath of confidence. I have more players to trust like Lament, Shashko, Ahmad, and how good was Cunha. Or with Liverpool, they couldn't get the ball, bro. That towards the end of the game where he skinned Frimpong and Wirtz together, it was crazy. They were trying to pull him down. He literally ran a circle around one of them by the byline. It was brilliant. Dark horses in UCL this season. Come on, Napoli, man. For McTominay. Why not? Mid table matters, bro. We all know it's true. Mid table matters. To be honest, when I look at Menu running, I can sympathize with Amram. Put the guy 10 minutes left on the clock. He runs like he's already played 120. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's put on this muscle and it slowed him down. I don't know if the injuries have slowed him down, but he is looking slower, man. He is looking slower. It's a little bit of a worry, to be fair, to be honest. Spanish Brendan Rodgers get win on corners and free kicks and call progress and strategy. Why can't we do the same? So pleased with Lamen start at the club. I agree. I guess Slot and Amarim have exchanged the roles. Lamen's look solid. Yeah, did. Okay, this is a question for Mustache. I'll let Mustache take it. Asa, Inter, and PSG are getting a W today, right? What do you think? Yeah, probably. PSG is definitely getting a dub. Is Licha ready to start a match? Rohit, like been telling people for 2 months, I don't think he's going to come back before next international break. Apparently, he's just started physical contact training. He's not going to be ready for this week, and he's not going to be ready for next week. He might be ready for the Tottenham game. So I always thought he's coming back after the international break. United won 2 out of 4 matches against top four. Yeah, but then it doesn't mean anything, dude. We have to, there are more. There are 15 other teams we have to get more victories over. So it's great. It's great for the week, for the moment. But we need to continue momentum. For where do I think Chelsea will finish in knockouts? UCL. Chelsea will finish top 10. I think they'll comfortably finish top 10. Still think United need one more keeper. Bro, let us get rid of the keepers we have for Dell laptop. Otherwise, we'll have more and more keepers only. Yes, Mustache giving some advice. Come on, bro. Joao Felix, idol of Florian Wirtz is coming. No, thank you. No, thank you to both of them. Yeah, the thought of Lamens injured and Bindley replacing him fills me with thanks. It's not even that though, dude. It's the fact that we have to actually get rid of our keepers to even if Lamens is fit for the whole season, we still have to get rid of our other keepers to get new keepers. I guess Florian Wirtz might as well go to Goa. He's not doing much. Might as well watch his idol play. Venu's on muscle load, hence he got a bit slow, I guess. Early he was lanky and used to run fast. This is a great question for Aniket actually, because I don't have a Scooby Doo clue about why he's become slow. Aniket, good evening. What up? I'm good. I can't complain. Aniket, how are you? I have a question to ask. So, someone early in the chat, you can scroll up if you want, or you don't have to. But a lot of people are feeling that Menu has gotten slower. And after the injuries and after the muscle load, he doesn't run as quickly. He looks tired. He looks languid. What do you think? Do you think it's medically related? Do you think he was never ever that quick. What do you think the issue is, Anike? Because I can't help but feel he has gotten slower too. I have to agree with the chat. Not just slow, it's painful to watch him. You expect the substitute player to cover the ground for his teammates, and with Menu, it looks like he's unable to cover his own. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it just feels languid, unfortunately. See, Nathan, I don't want a career and all shit in the chat. It depresses me more than 15 finish in the EP. Okay. What was that's the English philosophy of midfield muscle, not technical and fast. Yeah, Paul Scholes was Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes wasn't fast. Anyway, Diaz is the worst signing. It's still time, man. Still time. Still time. This is another question. Do you think Adama Traore at right wing back would flourish under us? Please, Baba, I beg you. Anybody except baby oil. Anybody. I take Dallo 9 times out of 10 over this fellow. This guy only looks like he goes to the gym, bro. One day he looks like Superman, the other day he looks like Invisible Man. Honestly, I would happily keep Dallo over him. He might not have the same threatening level as Dallo, no, but Dallo is at least more consistent in every sense of the word. He's more fit. He'll give you more average performances. It's way better. Finally over the hang. Where is Biku? No idea. Great question. What signings are you expecting in winter? I'm expecting none, Pudan. That's the honest truth. Apparently, Jimmy Garner is interested to come back. We might interested. Ivan Tony might be interested in coming on loan. So let's see. Nine plus is deceiving. We're very near the top four at the moment. If we actually do well in the next few games, top five isn't unrealistic. It isn't unrealistic, Snail. But you have to also realize that we are going to play more than 5 games. So I'm just keeping my keeping my head on my shoulders. But yeah, flag wankers. I'm going to avoid that. But if you've been watching the news, I think you understand what he means. No one's talking about a flop called Xavi Simons because, dude, in fairness, nobody really pays attention to any money Spurs pay, and that's not me being insulted. That is the truth. Nobody. How long they said Richarlison was a flop? Maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. That's it. They didn't say anything after that. They might have people might have started, but it won't have legs. It will stop eventually. No one will care. On the other hand, I have no complaint with Ugarte. Excellent sub player, covers a lot of ground. Menu should show some results or sell him for 40 million. 40 million, really? I hate to see Menu anywhere else, but also hate to see him wasted completely. Yeah, that's fair. I think that is a fair reaction we all have. You wanted Atletico. Have you watched Atletico this season? If yes, then you have noticed a change in their playing style. I mean, Simeone is now playing a high line and more attacking football. Don't care. Hope he loses 6-0. That my attitude to that will never change. I hope Arsenal thrash them, and that's not even a sentence I like enjoying saying, to tell you the truth. I hate saying those words in general, but I will say it again and again. I hope they win 6-0. Too early to call Wirtz a flop signing. Mbappe took whole half a season to lock in. Till then, everyone was calling him a flop signing to wanted him out. Finally, Mount getting back to his form. Is it time for Bruno go after the season? Listen, dude. No offense, but I think Bruno Fernandes's assist it proves exactly why Bruno Fernandes plays football in our club. When you least expect it, the man pulls out magic. Call him Paulie Malignaggi, dude, the magic man. Honestly, even Roy, when Roy Keane is saying something nice about you, that's when you know. That's when you got to sit around and pay attention. You think, Nathan, if English football gets that extra spot on UCL again, can United fancy the chance? This is a fantastic point I was thinking about Yappers. I was looking at the UCL lineup and I don't see why England won't do well in the UCL. I think what it does is it relieves a lot of pressure on all the teams that are competing for European spots because there are more spots applicable. I think it applies. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does it apply even to the Europa League? You get extra spots. I don't know, but either way, I feel like it relieves people's chances for sure. Loki Red Devil. I've been a regular watcher. Love your content, the way you put your points across. Thank you so much, Loki Red Devil. Join us in the chat more, my friend. Don't just watch, please. for everybody to enjoy here. You don't have to be a United fan just to come here and have a chat. Okay, sorry. This is questions again. Sorry, I'm seeing the tag. I'm still highlighting them. Apologies for the private convo. A ball derby, I would rather go and touch grass at 12. Yeah, but you know, the algorithm sadly doesn't work that way, Yappers. I tend to agree with you. But fortunately, the algorithm doesn't work in my favor if I do something like that. So if I'm going to do it, I might as well do have a watch some watch Simeone hopefully lose. Let's put it that way. I have zero experience of this. Okay. Okay. I had a phone call, missed 10, 12 minutes, three times cry emoji. Will you take Endrick on loan in January if Xerxes goes on loan? Because Endrick has near about zero chance to worry about the World Cup. You know what's so funny? I was just laughing to myself thinking about it today watching the game. I'm like, everyone's talking about loan players now. I'm like, why wouldn't Endrick like to come? I'm sure they'll do some cool video montage of how his favorite player is Bobby Charlton for his loan signing. It'll be hilarious. But yeah, I honestly I take any quality. Any quality right now is an upgrade for sure. How Glasner's tactics are different from Amram whilst they both play the same formation. I think the setup is different. And I think the player roles. See, Utkarsh, I'll tell you something. I feel, see, I don't want to speak for other people, but I feel other people get it wrong. People use the word tactic. I use the word roles. If you look at tactic, some of the things Amram does is not even called tactics, honestly. I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just saying what I think the differentiation is. I think the roles of the players will help the tactics work, the formation work. So while they play the same formation, they don't play the players in the same roles for the formation. For example, Bruno is a free roaming attacking based midfielder. That is his role, that is his instinct, that is what he is signed for, that is what he has done for the last 5 years. You have decided to put him in a more, let's just say, a more controlling role, a role where he cannot roam as freely, cannot be as creative. It's not going to work. It's not going to work because the player, his natural instinct is how you get the best out of a player. Imagine if I played Ronaldo at left back. Could he play there for 20 minutes? Sure, he'll run up and down. Sure, he might give you a good tackle. I mean, he's in great shape. I'm sure he has some decent strength. I'm sure he'll able to work out. He spent the majority of his career shaking off defenders. I'm sure he would able to defend. But the question is, what is his natural role? What is his natural ability? What has he been doing his whole career? So I think the problem with Glasner and Amarim is not formations or tactic. It is the roles the players are chose to play in that formation. I think that is the biggest. I think Glasner has people who can play the things he wants them to play. The thing is, they're just not fancy named players. That's the only difference, right? Munoz is an attacking right wing back that can attack and defend. Ahmad can't do that. I don't think Dogu can do that. Dallo can't do that. So if you put them there, that is not their strength, but that's what they have to do. So the formation will not work because sometimes they'll lose the ball in the wrong place. They'll drag out their own players to cover up their mess. The formation splits apart. There are more gaps in the middle of the pitch because we are only playing a two-man midfield instead of a three-man midfield. Work rates, speed. There's a lot of tangibles that go into this as well. So I think if you put the right players who are naturally suited the roles, I think the tactics and formation will work better, more consistently. I think that is the difference. I think that is the difference right now, at least. So Garnacho would be crying by now. He's bang average earlier too, but at least he had the hype because of United. Now, after 0 G8, 6 years, no one even cares to troll him, but I think rings again. I don't know why people just criticize my captain. My man has a magic wand. Every time we are in trouble, he does something to help. Why is he always that? That's why he's always on the pitch. Exactly. I don't think there was criticism from Putin. I think he was making an observation because a lot of people will say similar things. But I think we cannot find a Bruno replacement. It'll be like the hair. I know everyone's hyped up for Lamens. I'm happy with you guys. You all can all be happy. I'm also happy with Lamens, to be very frank. He at least gives me hope, whereas the other one, which I will not take his name, didn't give me any hope from the very beginning. So I'm also very happy. My only issue is if we were going to do this, we should have just never sold him in the first place. Now that is done, we just move on. I'm happy with who we have. He seems very solid keeper. That's all I'll say. I don't want to. I don't want to go on about it anymore. But yeah. People say sell Bruno for 100 million. How could you sell a player game after game? Good performances in his prime years was in last year. Difficult type of club, and they're like sell. So the thing is, no, Dave. I will defend the people who said sell Bruno. Some of them. Some the people who I'll defend the people who said sell Bruno if we were not going to play him 10. Because to be honest with you, Dave, he should be playing in the 10. Yes, it's wonderful. He scored the penalties and the assists so far. Whatever his numbers are, good. That's great. But if you told people in advance, because remember we kept Bruno before we signed the new number 10s. I always say this, Dave. You know it. Chronology, the timing of all these events. We kept Bruno first, right? We backed Amram. Amram said he wanted him. This is a sign of backing Amram. Yes, we'll keep him. We won't take the 100 million. We'll keep him. We'll keep our captain, even though we were getting money. But I don't think anyone would keep Bruno if we knew he was going to play in the middle. You know what I'm saying, Dave? So those people I'll defend. Now for the people who said we could have got 100 million, let's sell him without knowing, especially when we didn't know we were going to get Cunha and Mbeumo. Those people I'd be like, bro, you can't replace Bruno with 100 million. You can't. You can't. It's great for money. It's great to get people off the wage book. It's great to get income so you can buy new players. But you can't replace Bruno Fernandes with 100 million. You're going to need three players. You're going to need one player with X factor. You're going to need two people with who are decent to cover it up because he does so much work on the pitch. They say he runs around like a headless chicken. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that when you're getting run ragged, when other people are not working hard enough, when other people are getting pulled out of position, when other people aren't doing their job. If you remember in the last game before the Liverpool game, Bruno was at right wing back. I'm sure you were live with us, Dave. I'm sure you were watching the game with us that day. And I was like, where is Ahmad? Where's the right wing back? Why is Bruno making a tackle just outside of the penalty box for a corner in our half? How has he gone from left-sided double pivot to right-sided centre back slash wing back? Because people up ahead made a mistake and he was there deep enough to cover the ground. You need three people, and you can't buy three people for 100. You might not able to buy 200, two people for the 100 million you'd sell Bruno. So what are we replacing him with? That is the thing. When people go, we should have just taken the money. Before we bought the tens, I'm like, take the money and get who? Take the money and get who? So these are my issues. But again, I will say I will defend the people who would say if I knew that we were going to sell Bruno Fernandes because we are not playing him in the 10, I would have taken the money. I also would have taken the money because I feel we are not using him to his strengths. And why should he get abuse for being a good captain, for being a good, for being a player that is listening to the coach, even if it's not his best position, he's still playing, no problems, no complaints. Why should he become a villain? All he's doing is playing. He's not picking himself. So yeah, that's what I thought about that. Good riddance to Ghana. Destroy hates Garnacho. Destroyer hates Garnacho. I feel bad for him. He's a naive kid. He's a naive kid. It is what it is. What happened to freedom fighters? Something happened in Villa. Who knows, bro? Who knows? There's some new controversy now that he did when he was at Chelsea. Yeah, that fellow is another one. They just can't put their head down and perform, bro. That's it. No, it's early, but who you think is going to get relegated, bro? Right now, it looks like Wolves is definitely going to get relegated. It's in. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like the three promoted teams might somehow save themselves. I don't know how it's going to look like that, but I don't know why they seem to be pulling off wins every second, third game, which is crazy. Wolves is still on 2 points, dude. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. What did Wolves do? Yeah, Wolves lost to Sunderland. It could have been a winnable game for them if they beat Sunderland. We would have been replacing them in the table somewhere. We would have been higher up in the table. But yeah, it's the most dangerous man on planet. I agree. I tend to agree a little bit. Yes, I will second that feeling. I will second that feeling. I tend to agree. Do you feel low blocks that we are playing in last two games? Is it tactical since we are playing Lamens or something RA has adopted for results? Loki, I think it's something RA adopted for results, but it only depends on how long is he going to do it for. If he's only doing it for if he's going to go back to his usual next, then no. Clearly, it wasn't. It was just for the game. I think he's finally trying to use his players' strengths, and I think that's something we all agree he should have done maybe last year. But let's see how he sets up next game. I think the long balls. I think the long balls in particular. I don't know about the low block necessarily, Loki, but the long balls in particular is just mixing it up. I think every goalkeeper should do that. I feel that that is a much more. You don't know what you're going to do every time we get the ball. Every time we start play, restart play, or however you want to call it. Every time we start a play from the back, I think it's good that we mix it up. I don't think it's good that we keep just passing it around from the back. So people know they put pressure instantly on us. Why should they? Why should we make them put pressure on us? They should earn that pressure. So sometimes you got to mix it up, yeah. And I agree. I think at least with regards to the long balls, I think that is a great idea. I honestly think a good covering destructive DM can get the best of Bruno in that CM role. Probably yappers, but who knows if we'll ever see that. To be honest, now we have Cunha and Mbama. I wouldn't be so against selling Bruno now that we have some good attacking options. I get that, dude. But the thing is that see what my issue really is, Mustache, is if you want to sell him, you better get a replacement that's like him. You can't get someone who's 20 years old and go, man, it was unrealistic to think this person would replace Bruno. Because then the first thing people like me, or at least I'll speak for myself, I will look at that person and go, then why did you sell him? Because if you're going to sell our captain, you damn sure better get someone to replace his qualities. You can't do this. Oh, he was getting old, so we got someone young. Bro, young and old doesn't necessarily work out like that. Just because you get someone young, that doesn't mean it's a good deal. You got to get someone to actually fill in the shoes. And let's be honest, if we are being honest with each other, whether you would take the money, not take the money, whatever it is, there is not one player for one player that can currently replace Bruno Fernandes and what he does for our team. I'm not even talking about the system, what he does for our team, whether it's on the pitch, off the pitch. You're going to have to get more than one player to fill that shoe. So tomorrow, if we sell Bruno Fernandes and we get whatever kind of midfielder you want, he's got to fill the shoes in other ways too. Because Bruno Fernandes has become very, very important to the club in more ways than one. And selling him man for man, you're not going to find someone like that. Who are we going to buy? We're going to buy Joshua Kimmich. If we're buying Joshua Kimmich, I'm here for it. Let's go. If we're going to buy Joshua Kimmich, I'm listening. Let's talk. If you're going to buy some 22-year-old who could be the next big thing, I'm not feeling that happy about it. I can't lie. Great that we got a good player, but I'm not going to be too happy about it in the overall sense of the word. That's what managers can't understand. When Ole was there, he used Bruno best. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Why no big team going for Adam Water? I think United's perfect team for him. Pudin is very simple. He will be priced out. You have to see how well The, it's the same reason no one went for Mateta once they've qualified for Europe. The moment you walk up to Mateta and they have an FA Cup and they have Europe, you're going to have to pay 70 million. Whether you think he's worth it or not, nobody cares. The moment Crystal Palace sorted their season out by knowing where they're going to be, what tournaments they're going to play, they automatically became less attractive as a team you want to buy players from this year. Now, next year, if they finish 11th and they don't win anything, you better believe 2-3 of their main players are going to go. Watching streams while being in the office is the real hassle. Man, I would like to see Cunha and Mbeumo to perform 2 full seasons, and then we can participate our ways with. Yes, we can. Yes, we can part ways with Bruno. We had various one season wonders. Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to be one season wonders, but I tend to agree with Shanks a little bit. Let's see how they all perform. And yes, don't say his name, they might reappear the Nets. So, Sean Dyche is playing 4-4-2. Is back. Rashford reuniting with Dyche. Proper Barclays game is back. Now, Shikhar, all they have to do is go get Barnes from Burnley. I don't know if you know this, but he left on a free and joined Burnley at the beginning of the season again. They got to go Barnes and Wood, dude. Back to the old school English football days. Can you imagine Daichi boy on the sidelines, Barnes and Wood up front? Oof, we'll be cooking. Scrap that Avoni fellow, dude. It's time to make English football great again. The day Dallo step over results in something good will be the day I'll get the side we're winning the league. Destroy. See, one thing I'll tell you, you didn't see it. He nutmegged Salah and then he Cruyff turned. He Cruyff. Who was the right back? He Cruyff turned the right back. He skinned both of them at the beginning of the game. I know. You saw it, but you're going to pretend like you didn't, and you say Salah's crap or something. But he technically did. He did more than a step over yesterday, if you remember it. Yeah. But for that money, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. It wasn't a thought. Oh, it was a thought for a lot of people. Mustache. Even the people that love Bruno, it was a top for sure. Yeah. Ashford and almost swap might work if Bruno's leaving. But I don't believe he won Danny Olmo. Not that I've read anywhere, at least. Hey Vedant, good evening. Blue Boys here. Do you think Bruno will stay next season? I want him to stay, dude. I would like it if he retired here. Take a smaller contract, take a reduced wage, like kind of like what we did with De Gea. I would like him to retire. I think he might be. I hope not, but I think he might be the last person who stays for a really long time in a club. Granted, Luke Shaw's still in our club, but you know what I mean. I mean someone else. Hey, defective. Good evening. We won. Itni kushi kabhi nahi hui. And why shouldn't I? Fans gave him a goated chant and he absolutely betrayed the family, even mocked them. I feel sorry for the. I believe he's still talking about Garnacho. I don't know. Participate fucking head spell correct. It's fine, dude. The idea of replacing Bruno one for one is daunting. One player we can't. Man. Listen, I'm being honest with you. I'm going to stand on business like I stood on business with Onana and De Gea and with Alvaro Fernandez. We cannot replace Bruno Fernandez with just one player. Don't like Twalumba always likes to say, I get giddy all the time. I'm not going to get giddy. I'm telling you right now, whatever your thoughts about Bruno, however bad the midfield looks like they will perform, we cannot replace Bruno Fernandez with one player. I'll take that one to the grave if I have to. 100%. That doesn't mean I won't back the player that replaces him. That I don't want them to do well. I can't see it. He's doing so much. I would just recommend. I'm sure we are all United fans. I'm sure you guys have already done it, but do go and watch the Manchester United video on Twitter, where I believe the admin or however you call it asked all the players as they entered through the reception, who was your man of the match. I absolutely loved Bruno's answer. I absolutely loved Bruno's answer. I just urge you all to. I think it's like 1.5 minutes long. If you have time, go to Manchester United on Twitter. I don't remember what the heading was. Maybe the heading was who was your man of the match. It's the video where you see everyone just entering the door. Watch it. Watch Bruno Fernandez answer. And if you don't love him, I don't know, man. I don't know. I love the answer. I love the answer. I love what happened 2 days ago. It was all great. It was a great week for us. Can't complain. I will agree to your point, Nathan. We can't get an exact Bruno, just like Liverpool can't get an exact Salah. We need 3, 4 players so that each player contributes one. Yeah. Fortunately, Destroy, we just don't have the money to do that. Yeah. It's going to be tough, dude. It's going to be tough. I know people will think it won't be. People will think if we get a good enough player, it will make up for it. It's not going to make up for it. I still don't think Bruno has performed as well as he should be this season. In fact, yesterday he was making some silly mistakes deep in the second half where we might have conceded through those mistakes. Fair enough. Hey Abbas, it's been a while, buddy. How have you been? Where have you been? Call me mad, but I think Bruno will retire. I'd love it. I'd love it, and I'd cry. Barnes and McNeil to Forest. Here we go. Dwight McNeil. You remember when there were 11 boring players at Burnley, and Dwight McNeil was the only technical baller who would do skill moves. Oh, those are the good old days, dude. 10 boring as balls Burnley players and one Dwight McNeil. Oh, we will be there. What good times, dude. Imagine it's going to be fun watching Forest now. I can just imagine the hugs the Wood and Daichi give after each game. It'll be brilliant. You know what, Snail? It's a great point, but can I, Snail? You know what? I agree, and I know you're not against Bruno, by the way. Okay, so don't take it like I'm attacking you. But I would like to ask one question to the chat because we'll move on now because again this whole hour we've only spoken about United. We'll move on. But I'm going to ask the chat, everybody in the chat. Okay, don't type anything. Please don't type anything because I'm going to read. I'm going to skate through all this and then I'm going to read your answers for the question. Okay, one question. Okay. Now just picture this. Okay, Bruno is the number 10, right? We all agree on that. I only have one question to ask. All the whole chat. Out of all the number 10s we have, do you think anyone would play better than Bruno? I know some people will say Mount, but just think about that question. Think about what he does. You won't include the mistakes, absolutely. But just think about the overall, like think about it as a 90-minute game. Which one of the tens, whether we play them or they're sitting on the bench, whoever can play like the way Bruno does, can stay fit the way Bruno does, can pull off magic the way Bruno does, even though he's being played out of position. So I'm saying, imagine if Mbuemo played there. Imagine if Cunha played there. Imagine if Mount played there. Imagine if Menu played there, which it doesn't seem to get a chance to. Imagine if Xerxes played there because people thought Xerxes is going to be a 10. And this is what I'm saying. It's very difficult to get the best out of your player when he is being played out of position. The thing is, we have come to expect so much from Bruno because every season we see magic. Not I'm not saying every game we see magic, but every season we see magic. So we have come to that conclusion that we want to see more magic, which I am with you guys. I also want to see more magic. You guys want to see more magic. Like I said, call him Paulie Malignaggi. He's the magic man. For me, he is. He is. I mean, when Roy Keane abuses him every week, calls him not a captain, to there's very few players in the world would do what Bruno Fernandes just did that day. That's what I mean. He's the magic man. I don't think any of our tens can play Bruno's role. At this herein lies the problem. Bruno is best at playing that position, so he's being played out of position. I get it, but Snail, you have great points, and a lot of people have said that, and I don't disagree with any of those points. My counter question is simple: which one of the other tens can do that? Now remember, Kobe Mainu, people will say, but Kobe Mainu is not a 10. Kobe Mainu never was supposed to be a 10. You can play him there. He has good technical ability. He has good finishing if he's in the box, but he's not a 10. I'm talking about the 10s. Mbuemo, Cunha, Mount. If you want, add Xerxes. None of them would able to play that position. And they certainly won't able to play it the full season. So he's put in a really disadvantageous position. But because he's the captain, because he is a team player, no matter what anyone will say, or how much ever he will quote unquote cry, he's put in a tough spot there, to be fair. Al Nasser United, behave yourself, Vedant. What do you think of Shea Lacey? He's injury prone. He needs to stay fit. Blue boy. I think we have a baller there. Shea Lacey is a good one. Mantato is a good one. One I keep forgetting which Fletcher. I think it is Jack Fletcher. He's a good one. Jim Thwaites is a good one. We need a free kick guy, man. Especially if Bruno is going to retire soon or leave soon. Salah was crap because someone was on the pitch. 4-4-2 and a pint of lager at halftime. Daichi ball. Bruno can play 60 games a season. If need be, at the age of 30, can almost play 4 without getting injured. See, this I'm not sure of. I don't watch Barcelona like that. Sell Bruno, but bring Pedri. Now we're talking. See, now we're talking, but we all know it won't be the same price. So we won't get him for that price. But now we're talking. Now Barcelona fans who just tune in are going to abuse me. But now we're talking. Sell Bruno, bring Pedri. Yeah. He still won't fill in the off the field antics. But maybe that guy will fill on the field antics. At least we got one guy to fill one part of the job. I like Nuno Santos from Sporting. I think he's too old, he footballer. I think he's too old, if I'm not mistaken. Exams thereby. No problem, Abbas. As long as we'll always be here, always study first. Number 10, Bruno's best. Exactly. Rumor is still a 43 million. What's your thought? Listen, Akash, very happy to take Angelo Stiller. I don't think we're getting him in January because they will sabotage their own season by selling Angelo Stiller. Why would they do that? What's in it for them? They can still get the 43 million at the end of the season. Trust me. They'll get that price at the end of the season no matter what. The question is, where are they in the Bundesliga? If they're high up in the Bundesliga, they might not risk it. That's the thing. Angelo Stella. We'll move on now from United, guys. We'll do a quick wrap up because I am going to be live. I always say we're going to be live, but then we end up taking forever doing this one. Yeah. So where is Stuttgart? Where is Stuttgart? Hashtag still believe. Come on, bro. You're a little too young to do nonsense like that. Stuttgart. Where are they in the league? Stuttgart is third right now. They're 1 point behind Leipzig and they're 6 points behind Bayern. They're not going to sell, dude. They'll get Champions League. They'll get all that additional money. They are not going to just sell. So the thing about Angelo Stella is it's very unlikely simply because of they're not going to sabotage their season. No, there is no replacement for the lad. आज थोड़ा बिजी हूँ नितिन भाई स्टीम नहीं देख पाऊंगा पर द वे लिवरपूल वालों शर्म करो बाय गुड नाइट सिविल बीइंग्स वी आर गोइंग टू बी लाइव फॉर अ यूरोपा चैंपियंस लीग आई मीन यूएफए चैंपियंस लीग मैच feel free to join us then but thank you for joining in anyway. I get it mate, just take a chat. I was the fool to talk Bruno with you. Oh, destroyer. Full plays, yeah, I mean also plays full season with only. Highest wage taker, maybe that's why Pandit's questioning Bruno. I believe he's second behind Casemiro. I think the only difference is Casemiro's been paid that for the last 4 years. Bruno's been paid for the last 1 year. The new thing, but yeah. Late because of gym workout. That's a great reason to be late, dude. Workout. Brilliant. For the next game, a healthy doubt is who will be our front three. I want Mbeumo, Cunha, Sheshko. Unfortunately, Mount has to be a sub. I think so too. I think so too. Normally, I wouldn't think so, but I think so too. Yes. Yeah. He's got to be a sub. Hmm. Fortunately, he did play. He did play decent, but yeah, I think he's the most responsible player in our team. He accepts any position. Exactly, Utkarsh. Sir Bruno gets certain someone from you know where. When is Amarim giving chances? He'll be absolutely fire. Sekou Kone, excited to see him. Sekou Kone. That is someone we were all excited to see preseason. Unfortunately, we didn't go far in the Carabao Cup, so it became a bit of a headache. But hopefully, if we have some favorable FA Cup matches, we'll see Sekou Kone. What is your realistic approach at the end of the season or until January? See, the thing is, we spend money in football. We spent 30 million. It's not a lot of money. It's not a little money. We bought Dogu in January. The question is, what is the situation of the club we are buying for? Lecce was more than happy to accept it because we beat their transfer record. Morten Yulman was their transfer record that went to Sporting, and we bought Dogu. We broke that record and bought Dogu. So, and they were 13th. If they got relegated by some chance, those players would have, they'd have relegation clauses. They'd be going for 5 million. So they sold Patrick Dogu, and if we get players from similar situations where teams really need the money, because if they're in bad shape, they might not able to make the moves next year what they want. Offload players, get money for the players they want. They'll be more willing to sell. So it depends on where we're going. But like I said, VFP Stuttgart, they're 1 point behind second place, dude. Stuttgart will let you go for the same price, but we'll get 100 million from qualifying for Champions League. We can't let you go in January. You can't do anything about it. Finance and business faculty go bachelor's degree Europe, which country among France, England, Germany, despite all Trump and visa issues, opt for USA. Don't opt for USA because I don't know how it works as a student in America anymore. See, I'd go to England just because you're English speaking, dude. If you go to France, if you leave the university campus, you're going to have to learn how to speak French or German. If you're going there just to study, go to England because that you can only focus on one thing. If you want to get a part-time job, you don't need to learn another language. There are other benefits. Pick a nice university. Maybe don't go to London. Save some money, go to a university outside, work your way up and get a better job. That way you will spend less on college fees, but you will get experience. You will get life experience, you'll get work experience, and you'll get your degree. You don't have to work in London. You can do your little research, go to a smaller city with a good university. You can go there. Bruno replacement has to be Wharton and Elliot Anderson. Yeah, we're gonna need to. You're going live on another channel? No, I was live on Mark's channel at 5:30 our time rhythm for like an hour. Honestly, the OG Barclays Premier League was something else. From the intro to the matches to teams like Burnley and Stoke, oh, the good old days. It was fun. It was fun. They had that thing where they'd have the 3D images of the badges in the intro song. That was really fun. Incorporated into the song. Concerned about left wing back, we are just about matching somehow. Brighton will really use the wings. Our fullbacks are given a proper test. There's no way out of it, Snail. There's no way out of it. We need new wing backs as well. You don't mind? Tell me a starting level for Brighton. Which one you want? Pretty much the same team, except I'll take out Mount and bring in Shashko. I think you should try and go with a winning team. Keep the momentum. This is kind of what I said for the Liverpool game, Evan. Keep the momentum going. If it fails, then change. If Shashko was benched for a specific strategic reason, then you bench Mount and bring back Shashko, or you bench Cunha and bring back Shashko because Mount played the last game, right? If you're doing it for specific reasons, different. Otherwise, I say keep the winning team rolling. I was furious when you were the stream. Ashford, he was asking Bruno replaces Mount. He was saying, how can he? He's not fit to give 100%. Remember, I said, is he? Listen, dude. He's just asking questions. Yeah, he's making it interactive. I don't think any of us want Bruno to go, dude. Let's be honest. Mount is not his replacement, bro. No one can replace Bruno. That time he was, see, listen. I look at it as a point of view, Akash, as he's asking a question to the audience to create interaction. So I was not upset or anything. I just wanted to hear the thought process. Then I gave my opinion. We play Sunderland next in the PL. The last time we played Sunderland in the PL, we won the league. Oh, they won. They won. They beat Bulls 2-0. They are a tough team, dude. I think they're honestly, I think they're tougher than Forest, Rajiv. You better start Caicedo for the in the first half itself. The whole season, is that a good DM and Dumfries and we would have been flying? Yeah, I agree. Off topic, but Gonzalo Garcia. So will you believe I'm an operation manager at company at just 19? The only reason I'll believe that e-footballer is because if you hustle hard enough, your age doesn't make any difference. So if you are, that is fantastic and keep up the good work. Documentary about why change Barclays to EPL? That's a great question. Is there one? I never actually read it. No, I mean I didn't watch it. Talking about Champions League match, are you going live on? No, it's on our channel. I've not set it up yet. I'll set it up after we're done here. Can you suggest to watch and where? I'll have to have a look and see where it is, Akash. I have no clue where it is. Not Euro for Maguire. The only other change I want is Euro for Maguire. Bro, you can't change Maguire after what just happened. I don't know. That would be odd. That would be odd. I have to admit. You could change him for sure. I mean, you can't even change him for sure, dude. They all had such good games. Amiram's going to have for once in a very, very long time. Once in a very, very long time, Amram's going to have a real tough time on who to pick. I'm off. See you later. Take care, man. Hey, Ashutosh. Bro, each one of our new signs giving great vibes improvement to our squad. I agree. Do we have any crunching story in the EPL? Like if we go in La Liga, Tevez left United for City. He was technically on loan to us, but still, it became a big deal eventually. Sunderland have surprisingly been good. It'll be a tough game. Yes. Do you think we should simply spend 100 million plus bids for Baliba? He has been disappointing this season. I think at this moment, Anderson would be a greater option. I know they're two different profiles. See, but it's not even about the profile, right? It's about your roles and abilities. If Anderson can do what Baliba does, then or at least some of it or most of it, it'll still be worth it because we can spend that other 60, 70 million on something else. Sol Campbell, yeah, Sol Campbell, Tottenham to Arsenal. No, I just asked. I also don't know. Is there one? I don't know if there is. I'll have a look into Akash. It's a great question. Spend 150 million on Pedri. All right, guys, we'll go through the games quickly because we're way past the 1 hour. So we'll just quickly go through the games. Let me just bring this up here again. There we go. So I think since Rajiv is here, we will talk about Nottingham Forest Chelsea straight away, shall we? As you can see here, Achiampong, Neto, James, the goals. Gusto got a red card. Really, really stupid when you're 3-0 up at 87 minutes. But I don't know about you guys, but oh wow, almost full capacity at the City ground. 81 seats empty. That's not bad. 81 seats is all right. Um, yeah, in the first half, it was pretty. It was languid, but it was back and forth. I felt like Nottingham Forest did have chances, as you can see here. We'll line up some stats here. You can see 50% possession, XG. If you care about that, I don't really. And as you can see, there's 17 shots total to 12, 2 to 6 for Chelsea. 6 shots on target, 3 goals. Decently clinical, wasteful with the total shots perspective, but on target conversion rate, absolutely decent. As you can see here, it was pretty back and forth, especially in the first half. It was really, really back and forth. And then the changes came. They got rid of Garnacho, bought on Gittins. It was 3 subs. I don't remember the third one exactly, but they bought in Caicedo, and my God, what a difference it made once Caicedo. They had more control over the ball. I think they were moving the ball better. They weren't philandering around on the left wing. And then they basically put this game to bed quick. As you can see, a 49-50 to quick. 2-0, the game was over. I think around 60 something, 65 minutes, the owner of Nottingham Forest, Marinakis, just left. And then Reece James puts the dagger blow in there just to, make it more fun. And yeah, I think it was it was pretty even. It was pretty even, but the quality in the end shone through. Caicedo came in very, very clutch, very, very clutch. And yeah, that's all you need. As you can see here, the expected XG for Nottingham Forest was more for whatever reason. Still lost 3-0, but I never really understood what this XG nonsense is anyway. But yeah, I mean, the quality just shone through, man. Chelsea, I mean, I thought it should have been easier. It should have been an easy game anyway, but second half changes were made, and then I think everything just automatically improved. Ram Classico, we won't do predictions. We'll do a watch along, Shikhar. It'll be more fun. We'll see the lineups and then talk about it. Maguire's rhombic copper head is irreplaceable at this point. Red card FC. Do you believe Yamal might go to PSG after rumors coming out a big amount that PSG is going to offer? I mean, he'll be a fool, dude. If he's not paid attention to what happened to Neymar, then he's kind of doing what Neymar did, to be honest, at Barcelona when Neymar was at Barcelona. He's going to follow the path of Neymar. He's going to end up like Neymar too, 31 and washed. It's up to him. It's his footballing career. He can do whatever he wants. I think we also need Casemiro replacement along with Bruno. Well, Casemiro has to be replaced because this is the last year in the contract. Can't easily take off Bruno due to his magic wand. Yes. I was not knowing that Tevez were not Simba United, and my age is 27. Loan. It is complicated. It was complicated. Let's just put it that way. From West Ham. First half, Chelsea were actually very shaky. In second half, the game changed. Exactly. We were lucky, Nathan. Remember Morgan Gibbs wise? Yeah, I mean, in the first half, Nottingham Forest had chances. They did. But of course, just that they were extremely shit. Contact me. I mean, on I guess on Twitter, defective. Yeah. Neto and James were brilliant. The Achiampong lad looks solid. He did. Young kid too. Fantastic. By the way, Nathan, the moment Mbamo scored the first goal, I first thought was coming to my mind was Nathan, what a genius. Bro, that man. That man. I wish I had an editor sometimes that could clip up all the nonsense I've said over the years. Frank and Mbamo would have been such a great combination. Take care, man. Take care. Take care. See you. Thank you for joining, buddy. Thank you. But yeah, so that is that. Brighton of Albion. I'll be honest, guys. I didn't watch it. I did not watch it. I watched this game. This game is the game we watched. Jean Philippe Mateta scored a hat trick only to miss a much easier chance to win the game at the in extra time. 300, 340, it's what 361. Damn man, I really thought these games would sell out. That's interesting. But there you see 3-3. Krupi with a double. Ryan Christie at 89 minutes. Matata pulls off. Bournemouth were going to steal it at the end, but Glasner's man showed some resolve, which is brilliant. Matata so underrated. You know what, Shikhar? I'll push back on that a little bit. See, because I remember it very differently, and feel free to correct me, guys. I remember before Glasner coming here, I don't think any of us would touch Mateta with a pole, right? If we needed a striker, I don't think any of us would want to buy Mateta. I think Glasner has come and has really evolved his game. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Glasner because I remember people laughing at us. Like some people are saying he might be the worst striker in the league, like 2 years ago before Glasner came. So credit goes to him, of course. He has to also improve his game to be improved. But I think a lot has to go to Glasner, man. A lot. I mean, this man is could get a move to Brighton. Here we go, man. 41 and 84 from the old warhorse, Danny Welbeck. Incredible. Incredible scenes. Voltemada still scoring, man. To be fair, Voltemada has seemed to be gelling very well at Newcastle. I think this is his third or fourth goal now for Newcastle. But then again, see, Newcastle's inconsistent too. Brighton beat them. Brighton are below us. Newcastle, I believe, are above us. It's very weird. It's a very weird table. Sunderland are above us as well. Looks like I need to have Matata in my FPL. Gyökeres is also cheaper. Glasner better than Ateta. Nasha nahi utra mera. Bayern winning the Classic on Saturday. Manchester United winning the Northwest Derby. Yeah, I'm sure you must be on a great high. Bournemouth did a Spurs. Yeah, I guess, man. I guess you could say that. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. But I wish some of our players, specifically attackers, have some fun celebration like Gyökeres. That's kind of why I was bummed we didn't sign Gyökeres. I was telling people that only, dude. Just for the vibes. If we had awesome and we would have we could pretend like we are wearing masks, or something like. But yeah, I agree. Ambrym, how many transfers season one and winter done? I think in season one. No, I don't think he's going to get one in winter. Akash. I don't think he's going to get. I honestly don't think we are going to buy anybody in the winter. In the winter, I don't know why. Then you see Burnley getting another win. Like I was saying earlier, man, the promoted teams seem to be winning too. Ugochukwu and what's his name? Lua. What's his first name? Loom Chauna. Yeah. There you go. 2-0. Leslie Ugochukwu. I don't know if he's a Chelsea player still, but I believe he's from the Chelsea Youth Academy. Leslie Ugochukwu. Man City. Haaland brace. 5-minute brace for Haaland there. 2-0. Pretty tough game, man. They lasted pretty long with no Grealish too. You can see here 19 shots to 5. Like the key word, they lasted pretty long. 19 shots, only 7 on target. 7 on target, 2 goals scored. 91% accurate passes, 685 passes. What else do you have? Sunderland, Wolverhampton. I definitely did not. I didn't watch these other two games. I was out. Mukiele scored at 16 minutes and own goal by Krejci from Wolverhampton. I mean, Wolverhampton can't get a break. Sunderland Stadium of Light Stadium is 49,000. Wow. Wow. I didn't know it was that big. 49,000 is the Stadium of Light. Actually, that reminds me. I want to see if Man City fill their stadium. We move. We move. Let's leave it at that. That's not the point. That was fun though. Fulham, obviously, Trossard, 1-0. I believe it was a set piece goal, wasn't it? It was a set piece goal, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So you have that, the usual. Spurs, Aston Villa. I mean, obviously, I didn't see this game. I saw. Actually, no, that's a lie. I saw half time. I saw 1-1. I didn't see the second half because I saw Bentancur's goal. Rogers, Buendia. Buendia is in some great form. Yeah, if you want an FPL choice, Emiliano Buendia is in great form. And this game, I didn't watch it all because I was live somewhere else. Oh, my guy, Matthias Jensen scored again. 90 plus 4 minutes. Igor Thiago is a good FPL choice too, to be fair. If you guys want that. Yeah. I was talking about Amarim is staying 2 seasons. How many transfers? Oh, sorry. He'll need to succeed. He'll need another four, dude. You need another four. You need another four for sure. Haaland I think we all have Haaland FPL captain Snail. I don't think anyone has Salah anymore, sadly. Had that's what exactly. Yeah. After the interview of Ruma, I said that he was slightly changed his system. Now you can see the results. Exactly, Harshit. That's all we were ever asking for. I think four. I have a serious question. I mean, why is Anfield always talked about when we talk about hostile atmosphere in England? Why not OT? It can't be like United don't have passionate fans. Why? It is. It's not that we don't have. I think the intensity is met for a longer period of time across the game, Abbas. That's what I think it is. And I think it's the way Anfield is built also slightly. And I think this is the reason at least. We sold Ugo Chukwu. Fair enough. Sunderland Till I Die was a great show. It was. Sunderland's a good team. I'm glad they're back up. Teams that will be get relegated this season, according to you, bro, it's really tough to say here. I think Wolves will be though. I mean, these promoted teams are winning every week, or they're literally winning almost every second week. It's impossible to determine this. Let's see who's at the bottom now. Forest, West Ham, Wolves. I still think Leeds are going to get it actually. Wow, Leeds have a 4 point gap over West Ham. West Ham have had 1 point in the last 5 games. Oh my god. That Burnley win took them out of relegation zone, in fact. They won 4 points before the win. I think it'll be Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. I'm still saying I think Burnley is going to get relegated. I think Wolves is going to get relegated. It's a shame they put so much money into that team when they first got promoted. Yeah. Mia San Mia, Bayern fan, I believe. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Looks like Nathan, you have too many guys from Brentford, Embuemo, Frank Jensen, Visa. Let's not talk about it, dude. Ame is here. Kudus the best underrated signing for Spurs. Javi Simmons hasn't been set in the squad yet. I agree. Kudus has really shined. Don't change narrative about myself. Amram interview was saying, okay. Spurs will always be Spurs. They actually have not been that good this season. Almost lost to Wolves, almost dropped points against Leeds. Fair point. Worth's triple captain curse worked. So what players Amarim needs? Amarim needs two wing backs and a midfielder, dude. Two wing backs and a midfielder. He probably needs another centre back if they don't re-sign Harry. Those four, he needs four players minimum. At those four players he needs. Even West Ham after Nuno have still been horrific. Yeah, you'll have to give him time. He's going to have to reverse some of that damage that has been done. Actually, I don't know Jab GPT about this, and it said that Anfield is much more closer to. Yeah, exactly. Fans are loud. I don't agree. I mean, listen, you kind of have to be in both stadiums to know that, Abbas. But I've heard about this. Fans are louder. They weren't louder on Saturday, but I've heard that. And also, the pitch is it is closer pitch. That is the fact. That will obviously have an effect. That's just how acoustics work. Of course, Sunderland's a great team. They helped us when they really needed. I hope they do well. When we really needed it, I hope they do well. Wolves, Burnley, and either West Ham or Leeds are, yeah, probably. That's probably the 3 out of 4 that are going, yeah. Don't think West Ham can go also down. I think Nuno has time to reverse it, dude. It's not like they're not going to finish 10th, but they have time to reverse it. Can we see Martinez get minutes against? No, dude. No, he's just started physical training this week. If he started physical training this week and next week, he won't be there. You might see him for the Spurs game, possibly for a little bit. I've been telling you, Rajak, after the international break, Forest are not going down. Sean Dyche is invincible. You see Cunha being next Bruno Fernandes? No, no, am I? No, no. Would you sign as a replacement of Bruno Fernandes? There is no replacement, am I? We went through this about half an hour back. There is no replacement. You need 2, 3 people. I'm out. Take care and chat. Keep the peace, people. Yes, I'm also done. I don't know how can Licha help us while we have good centre backs. It's just going to have to hope that everyone does their job once they're all fit. Harshit, whenever they are called upon, they do what is needed. Simple as that. If we get top 5, how many players will get him in numbers? Tell. Previous season 15, we were signed 3. I still think we won't get more than 5 players, Akash, because we still have to pay off all this money we have spent from prior sales. We have not paid off a lot of our transfers. We still have to pay that off. I still think we'll get 5 players max. As per reports, Kirby seems as a Bruno replay. Yeah, but I mean, clearly he's not as creative as Bruno, right? With like the assist Bruno did, Kobe Manu can't do that. So we'll have to see. Best suited club captain given Bruno's leaving next season for me, it's either Delict or well, basically Delict. Kind of answered your own question here because I don't think we have a captain to replace Bruno either. We'll have to give it to someone and hope it sticks, basically. Hello, Kuldeep. Hello. Anyway, guys, I am off. It's been 1.5 hours. We were only supposed to do 1 hour. I am going to come back later on. We can chat then if you want to during the Arsenal Atletico match. I will see you then. Take care. Stay safe. I'll see you later for the match. I'll see. We'll start around 12:30 when the match starts. We won't. There's no build up. So I'll see you then, guys. Take care, and I'll see you later on.